Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry. As we get into tonight's video newsletter, I've got the path that I want to lay out for you for the next 2 days. I think that as an options trader, that is very largely where our lives will revolve, especially if you are shorter term focused. That is just to say that this Friday will be the first monthly expiration of 2026, and there can be some unique movement inside of that. I think it's a situation where a lot of what the market has shown us lately is two-sided trade. Not that we go up forever, not that we go down for forever, but really that we just oscillate between these key strikes. Now, on the advance, to kind of get things kicked off this week, we didn't quite get all the way into 7,000, right? You fail about 14 handles shy of that, and from there, the market makes some pretty significant breaks all the way down to 6,900. Now, 6,900 has to be met with some leniency, right? I feel about 10 points of padding is what was necessary for this, and the risk pivot that we'd really been focused on was 6,890. So again, the first part of the week, very bearish and takes you down into that zone, but then bears just can't get it to break, right? The end of day pretty much, from that lunchtime inflection point, goes on to find a pretty good bid, tacking on a solid 30, 40 points, depending on where you'd like to measure from. But it's not a bad close, given the way that the day was looking midday. Now, as you look at plays for tomorrow, it's me being very transparent in that I can't tell you what Thursday and Friday look like, but these are the road signs, the clues you'll want to look for. Does the cash index open above 23? You could give it 25 for an actual strike, but if you open up above 25, I think you target 50. From 50, this will be a big decision, right? And I know sometimes it seems too obvious to just call these big round numbers, but remember that it's the derivatives behind them and the hedging that goes on at those key strikes that can, make the market move. So again, above 25 leads to 50, and then that's the decision into the double O. I'm not going to mark off every 10 or every 25 points. I think that 50, 25 to 50 is that quarter point decision. A good, reliable move up above the 69.50 should lead us to 7,000. Now that would be some pretty healthy movement over the course of the next 2 days. And again, don't know if that's happening. Just have it as a potential scenario, and I'll be watching for it on Thursday morning. What is arguably the most important piece to having that play out in the SPX? It is that of Nvidia. So Nvidia is kind of at a unique spot here. I like the way it ended the day today. Nice little closing move. I'd like to see it recover 184 tomorrow. But the thing I want to show you in Nvidia is the potential for a low off of symmetry in time. Now, this is one of the more, I would say, concepts that I don't use as much in trading. But even if you just use a trend line and you say, all right, from swing high to swing low, how many days did Nvidia sell off? Well, that was 8 trading days. And then if you look at it from swing high down into the swing low that was made today, well, once again, that was 8 trading days. So there's some variance in here, right? This decline was actually 9 days, but this was 9 days, this was 8 days, this was 8 days, and then we've just gone through another 8 days down. So again, I looked at that because it's fascinating to me. It is one way to trigger into setups. That stuff can break, which is why you go down into a smaller time frame chart to let price begin to shift. You have this window, this area of potential opportunity, and you want price to prove it to you. I think we may have had a little bit of news kind of right there at the top of the hour that caused that wick. But when that wick is so quickly recovered, I think that's constructive for Nvidia. So just watch this. If Nvidia recovers 184 and is looking like 185, 186 tomorrow, well, then the S&P will have an easier time working its bullish structure. If this fails and Nvidia takes out today's low, well, then the setup is either wrong or it just needs more time, and then that will color the trading for Thursday and Friday as well. So I hope that helps, gives you some food for thought. I hope to see you in the chat room tomorrow, where we will be going over all of this live. So have a great rest of your night. I'll talk to you again soon. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com, and I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.